Welcome to the last lesson in the AI Comms course. This lesson will address all the questions you have, that you most likely have right now, about how to future-proof your AI strategy. How do you future-proof in an industry like artificial intelligence that is literally changing by the minute? The evolution is insane. So the only constant is change. And the sooner you embrace that lens of seeing this, the better. You have to be ready to change. You have to be ready to embrace what's better. You have to be ready to adapt to what's cheaper and safer and faster. And you have to be ready to do that soon. And if that means, completely overhauling, completely changing practices you've been doing for years, maybe decades, you got to be ready to change. Because it's the people that don't change that are the people that will lose. Those are the people that are not future-proofing themselves. Those are not the first movers. And they don't gain any advantage. I have a book out on this called Fluid. And, I've made this book as cheap as possible on Amazon because it is my goal to, if I could give away for free on Amazon, I would. Because it's my goal to help people have a new lens of seeing things. Fear is your greatest enemy. And it's also the wrong lens completely because fear is usually false evidence appearing real. It's not actual reason to fear. So if you can change your lens on how you see the change coming your way and just be the greatest adapter of change in your family, in your workplace, you will win. You will win. So instead of saying, oh no, I got to try out another tool. Oh no, I got to scrap this tool I thought was good because that one's 10 times better. No, how about, yay, I'm the first one doing this. This is incredible. I'm running an agentic process right now. I'm going to get 3 hours per day back. This is amazing. What else can I save my time on? So even if it's completely new to you, be ready to embrace that. And for more inspiration on that, I definitely encourage you to get my book, Fluid, on Amazon. It's called, the subtitle is The Adaptability Code, and it is all about rewiring your mindset. It's the tools, practices, you need to do that. Principles over tools. The way we've built this course and really all lessons is as evergreen as possible. How you build a digital avatar, you need training data. It needs to be filmed a certain way. Your microphone needs to be of a certain quality. Those are principles and they won't change. The tools to enable you to deploy your clone will change, right? So if you focus on the principles in your AI journey, you will be even more future-proof than all the people that are just standing rigid on a tool. And I know this more than anyone because I was the president of a tool that was making a lot of money. And I got out because I saw that custom solutions were the real answer for businesses. So the AI evolution is incredible. In 2020, we had GPT-2, which had just under 2 trillion, not trillion, under 2 billion parameters. And in 1 year, from 2020 to 2021, we went from GPT-2 in 2020, GPT-2 to GPT-3. And we jumped up to 175 billion parameters. And now we're looking at trillions. For comparison, in our human brain, 100 trillion neurons fire. So we've been trying to replicate the human brain for years. But in 2019, to go from GPT-2 to then GPT-3 in 2020, and to go from 1.5 billion parameters to 175 billion? That's insane. Also, that puts us 49 years-ish ahead of schedule because they thought that wouldn't happen till something like 2040. That's insane. So sit with that for a minute whenever you ask yourself about future-proofing because there's no human way to wrap your mind around true exponentials like this. We are organic creatures. We are not exponential machine computational algorithms. And it's okay to not feel caught up. If that's not your job, if you're not a full-time YouTube content creator, don't worry about it. Worry about what you can do in your work right now. So in 2022, We had basic generation with the launch of ChatGPT that fall, that November, right? We had a chatbot. And now the world could get text from AI that actually sounded pretty decent. In 2023, we had GPT-4, which was multimodal, and that's where the model expanded, where we had text and images, and it started to achieve high performance and pass certain benchmarks. I call 2024 the year of personalized AI because we had GPT-4o and we had the O1 model. We also had custom GPTs, which was a big breakthrough. Personalized AI with 2024, that's where we began to have reasoning, right? We went from, in 2023, we had GPT-4. We went from that to GPT-4o in 2024. Now in 2025, we're talking agentic workflows, bots talking to bots, an entire AI workforce, right? That's where we're at. So crazy, right? When you think about all those numbers, I don't know about you, my brain hurts. Like, what? But when you think that we're literally 49 years ahead of schedule of where the experts said we would be, it is okay to feel overwhelmed. Even the experts were wrong. So if you focus on fundamentals, you will win. How do you achieve a strong brand voice? How do you have a human in the loop in your systems, a happy human that likes what they do, but also adapts? How do you have clear systems that can run functionally and well? And how do you have adaptable workflows? And then beyond that, good quality standards, right? So the 3 pillars of future-proofing your business or your approach or your marketing strategy to what's coming with AI at all times is continuous learning, right? And I don't mean watching every clickbait YouTube headline. I mean, pick your experts, go to them, subscribe, and learn from them. There's only 3 or 4 YouTubers I learn from on a regular basis, right? Dave Shapiro, Matt Berman, and then AI Explained and Wes Roth. That's it. I also get my news from X. I don't go to any news source. I only have 2 channels, YouTube and X, and I have experts I follow on both of those channels that break down the news for me. So continuous learning from the right places, the right experts. Number 2, flexible systems, meaning am I on the right agent platform if I'm building agents or if I'm getting agents built for me? You know, for example, we use a HIPAA compliant platform that allows us to offer things like agents for the medical system, medical and healthcare companies. But we also have a system we built from scratch, which allows us to scale even more without breaking. Agentic workflows that can scale for hundreds and hundreds of tasks. So how do you stay really flexible? Instead of the latest and the greatest tool in your Instagram newsfeed, what are the best ones? And how can I be ahead? How can I get flexible and fluid? I can't recommend enough working with an AI integration firm or consultant. And don't hire the people that became AI consultants overnight just to make money. They will lead you wrong. Be very careful. Make sure you're working with masterminds. That's why at First Movers, you know, our tech team is one of a kind. We have people that have really done some incredible work building leading automations for Go High Level, one of the biggest platforms in the marketplace, biggest SaaS companies out there when it comes to agencies. And our tech team has actually done the thing. So we're able to actually guide our clients and our prospects and discovery calls on systems they've usually never heard of, on practices they're not even thinking of. That's the First Mover's advantage, right? And it always takes an expert to show that to you when you don't know it in your own brain. So don't beat yourself up. Unless you're an AI expert sitting here watching this course, and most of you probably aren't, it's okay to not know what to do. That's normal because you're probably very, very good at something else. It's not AI, right? And so just go get the people that are good at AI to show you what these systems are in your business, if you have a business. And then quality control, right? You don't want anything going out, makes you look bad, that is error prone, that is off brand. And so that's why that is a critical piece of everything we do as well. which is why we have marketing minds here at First Movers, not just AI people. So you want the right approach to future proofing. You don't just want to, future proofing doesn't mean to open your Instagram feed and follow 15 AI gurus and then go sign up for every tool they recommend. That's not future proofing. Future proofing is learning from the right people, continually soaking in. I'm soaking in daily information from X, daily. I have push notifications from my favorite programmers and developers and engineers and thinkers and builders. A small group of people that can fit on one hand because I don't want to be overwhelmed. And then, are your systems flexible, and are you making sure that as you grow, you have a strong grasp on quality? All right, so one of the best takeaways I could give you is just to stay adaptable. Test new tools early, but the right ones, not all of them, the ones that you actually need. Stay organized with your training data. Remember, it's about the right training data, not that you need every amazing X post out there. You just need a few. And think about systems that don't have to rely on a million tools, right? How can you build custom systems, especially if it's for your business or your clients? This is something that will allow you to run things a lot cheaper and at scale. And then focus on the outcome. What's the outcome I want? I work backwards from that. Okay, I want a digital clone. What's the best software to achieve that and the best practice in that software? Not, let me go sign up for this because it looks cool. If you work outcome first instead of tool first or approach first, which those are fine, that can give you some training and that can give you playground material, and playing in AI is excellent. But if you have that business goal that you've got to hit every month, focus on outcomes first. So make sure you're not over-reliant on just one tool, because when it breaks, then you're really stuck. Make sure that quality doesn't degrade as you scale your AI strategy. And do not lose the human touch. Your audience will not like it at all. And don't get stale. Ugh. No, don't get stale. You have learned everything you need to right here in the labs and in this course to never publish stale content with AI, to publish amazing content with AI. Whenever it comes to ethics, this is an important piece whenever you think of future-proofing your AI strategy, right? You want to be transparent with your audience. Something we do is we say, hello, this is Julie McCoy's digital clone, when it's not the real me. That's important for transparency with our audience. Our audience appreciates that. We also verify facts. Whenever we are publishing articles, how we have a human double checking, just takes minutes per article. And then there's a human putting some oversight into the actual work, and we're leading with value. Does this convey value? So focus on better training data. If you're struggling with AI, if you're not getting the right outcome, well, go back to your training data. Go back to your prompts. What are you telling it? How are you guiding it? If your systems aren't working, make them stronger. Consult. Get the experts in the room for you. If you aren't sure of the right platforms, just gain deeper knowledge about these platforms. And then get better with your own human skills. Become a better writer. The best way to become a better writer is to edit more AI content. And read a lot. Read from the best writers. I read every single night. I read both fiction and nonfiction. It is an amazing way to build a vocabulary and avoid blue screens. Your 90-day plan. So if you were to go forward from here, you're at the end of this course and say, okay, what does my next few months look like? Well, have your database going, whether that's company-wide, brand-specific. What's my training database? How am I going to tell the AI this is who we are? Set up your system. What are the tools you're going to use? How and when are you going to use them? We talked about batching days, specific ways to scale. Whenever you start out, think small and then scale from there. But start small. Start with just X and LinkedIn. Add in more as you really like what you're doing. Measure and adjust. In the long term with AI, especially successful AI leading your communications and marketing, you should see consistent growth. You should see a lot of time saved. You should see quality maintained quite a bit. In fact, it could be increased. And then you should see your audience trust gained. Your audience should love what you're putting out. That's a great measure of success. So very quick TLDR. Remember this, tools change, but principles remain. Systems absolutely matter. How you run AI, when you run AI, what you're using to run AI, your systems matter. And then quality absolutely wins. So you need to invest in your training data collection, your documentation around the systems you use, the tools you're using. Document, keep those tools in one place. And then the skills that you're developing, keep that maintained as well. If you had a short checklist, what is that? I'm going to check that my training data is organized. That's a great future-proof strategy. I'm going to check that my systems are documented for how I'm going to go forward from here. I'm going to check that I've got familiarity with the right tools. It's not about too many, but it's about the right ones. And I'm going to check that I've got quality standards set for how I run everything. So if we were to start right now, not 9 days, not a few months, right now, what's your first platform? What's your first training set? What's your workflow? How are you going to publish a piece of content tomorrow? That's a great, let's go get it. Let's go practice what we just learned and really put this into reality, real time. So I want to encourage you to tell you to 25x your content with everything you've learned to start saving tons of hours when it comes to communications and marketing. If you put what you learn into practice, you will start saving unbelievable amounts of time. You will. There's no doubt in my mind. And you'll build what I call an AI-powered future. So you made it here. I'm really proud of you. You got to the last lesson. Your next step is the quiz. You'll find this here in the course. So go take that quiz. As you may know, this is a certification course. So you do get that certification badge that you can display on LinkedIn. We really encourage you to say that you are certified in communications, AI communications from First Movers. List that on your profile 1,000%. Our company is listed as an educational platform on LinkedIn. So you'll be able to add that to your education section on LinkedIn. Build that proof. Tell the world you know the stuff. You learned it. You were here with me. Great job. I'll see you around in the labs. Thanks for consuming this course. I'm so glad you took the time to go through it. Well done.